Now, tomorrow, on the 15th of January 2026, Uganda is heading towards the general elections where they will elect their president, their next president, and also members of parliament and all other representatives in the local governments and all kind of stuff. So it's happening tomorrow, the 15th of January 2026. But the most interesting thing is that yesterday, on the 13th of January, 2 days towards the election, the Ugandan Communication Commission, which is a government entity that is entitled with the regulations of all mobile network operators and internet service providers, they issued a letter, released a letter that contained a statement written to all chief executive officers of mobile network operators and all licensed mobile operators and all licensed internet service providers in the country. The letter was issued so these companies could actually suspend, the access to public internet services and selling of new SIM cards and renewing of SIM cards and all stop data roaming and all this kind of stuff. This was the reason why the Ugandan Communication Commission issued out that letter. And some of the reasons that the commission came out behind the suspension of these services is because, one, that they want to actually mitigate the rapid spread of misinformation, disinformation, election fraud, but also stop incitement of violence during the election time. And this is some of the reasons why the government said behind the suspension of the internet. But in this video, I want us to look at the real reasons why I feel that the government and President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni indirectly is behind issuing this suspension of internet and why he has actually done that. I want us to look at what are the reasons why the Ugandan government and President Museveni shut down the internet in Uganda. Right now, Ugandans are disconnected from internet services. They have no access to all social media platforms. They have no access to Facebook, TikTok, X, Instagram, and WhatsApp. They have no access to their emails. They have no access to all messaging apps and all this kind of stuff. It's happening right now. Ugandans are disconnected from the world. They don't know what's happening in the world. I mean, literally, they are taken back to the old days. That is what is happening in Uganda. So as I said in this video, I want us to look at the real reasons as to why the government has actually issued the suspension of these internet services in Uganda. One is that the government of Uganda feared that if they are given a free and fair platform to run a credible election, it is very clear that the incumbent is going to lose. I mean, when we look through the the campaign trails and all the rallies that were organized, you can imagine the kind of support that the opposition, specifically Robert Kyagulanyi or Bobi Wine, has attained in all regions and districts here, the massive support. And therefore, if Uganda had that free environment, it is very clear that the opposition is going to win this election. Therefore, shutting down the internet is going to avail the government with that privilege to actually manipulate things without the world seeing it. They can have access, they can do like ballot pre-taking, they can do like voting coercion, they can do kind of rigging and all this kind of stuff. They can play around with the forms and change results and that without the world seeing it. So that is the major reasons why they are doing that, because they know that they are really not going to get the numbers. Therefore, in order to get that, manipulate results, they have to shut down the internet, disconnect the world from seeing exactly what is happening in Uganda. That is reason number one. Reason number two why the government feared the presence of internet in the country is because they don't want to see a repeat of what happened last year, late last year in Tanzania. Last year, Tanzania had an election, and the election was a sham election. I mean, there was the president literally imposed herself on Tanzanians, and therefore, because of that, Tanzanians were angry. They did mobilization through internet, through social media platform, and they went on the street, protested, destroyed property, and burned streets. They burned tires in the street and all this, and therefore, the president of Uganda or the government of Uganda doesn't want to see a repeat of what happened in Tanzania last year, because the whole protesting was incited through social media. They mobilized, the young people mobilized through social media platform, and they came out on the streets and protested. So that is the thing. Therefore, the president doesn't want to see a repeat of that happening in Uganda. But also, the other reasons why the the government of Uganda doesn't want the internet during this election period is because, one, they don't want the world to see exactly what is happening in Uganda. I mean, we have seen in so many places where the international communities and all these super poor countries, they take interest in most of the elections that happens in the world. And therefore, shutting down the internet temporarily will actually disconnect these international community from seeing exactly what is happening in the country, and to prevent them from doing the scrutiny in the country during the election time and see exactly what is happening there. So that is one of the reasons why the government of Uganda has temporarily issued a statement for the suspension of internet services in Tanzania. But let's say, like, I mean, this could help the government do whatsoever plan they have actually written before. I know they have a very well scripted strategic plan, logically set about how they're going to handle this election, one step up to the declaration of results. They have it very clear. But I want to tell you one thing. Last year in 2025, I think, there was a protest in the Asian country of Nepal. And the reason why there was a protest there, it's because the government had shut down access to social media platforms. Like, all social media platforms were shut down. And that became the major reason for the protest. Young people, especially university students, they occupied the streets, they occupied parliament and government buildings, they burned them down, they went and occupied the residence of the country's leader. And ultimately, the prime minister of the country, Sharma, resigned from the country, said to flee the country. And an interim leader was selected and take over the country until an election time. So, the importance of, suspension of social media platform, it's a very, very risky thing. In many countries, we have seen it happen in Madagascar as well. We have seen it happen in so many other countries. And therefore, suspending a social media platform or social media platforms in a country where the majority of the population is the young ones who depends on it in many times, or who rely on it almost every day, it's a very dangerous move, because this is going to ignite that anger in them, right? And also, like, suspending these social media platforms clearly indicates that the government or the president is about to do something that is not real. I mean, it's just going to tell the world that there's something that he is intending to do that he doesn't want the world to see about it. I mean, that step alone of suspending the internet has actually made the elections not to be a free and fair thing. And therefore, so many people are not going to even believe in it. That the results, whatever the results are going to come out, less number of people are only going to believe in that. So these are some of the things, or some of the reasons why I feel that the Ugandan government has suspended the use of internet in the country. Thank you so much. You can write it in the comment section if you have some of the reasons why you feel the internet is shut down, and also tell us if you feel this is a good move by the government of Uganda, as I said, to prevent misinformation, disinformation, electoral fraud, but also incitement of violence, or this is against the human rights or against the freedom of access to information and kind of this. So tell us in the comment section. Thank you so much. Until next time, I'm Emmanuel Taban, and this is the Concern Podcast. Thank you so much. Before we close today's episode, here's a quick message from our sponsor, Wanit.co. If you've been planning to build a website, but the cost has been holding you back, Wanit.co makes it affordable and stress-free this time around. Whether you are an individual, a non-profit organization, or a business, Wanit.co designs professional websites starting from as cheap as $250. Individuals can actually launch with a starter website of up to 7 pages and a free email, or choose an advanced option with unlimited pages, a professional portfolio, and branding support. For non-profit organizations, they can select flexible packages from basic websites to premium solutions with e-commerce features and ongoing support. And for business companies, Wanit.co delivers company-ready website with hosting, staff training, and multilingual options, and online stores. And the best part of it is actually that you can build your dream website within your budget. Wanit.co is an affordable, accessible, and professional partner. And to get started, you can actually visit Wanit.co or email them at info@wanit.co, or you can get in touch with them through their WhatsApp number at 12265043322. One.co, proudly affiliated with Jobs to Apply. And if you're wondering of what I'm talking about, here are some samples of website created by One.co. You can see them right here.